Testing your broadcast. Waiting for a broadcast to be published. There we go.
So
I think we're right.
For a new link?
No, it'll get on the right one. It's okay. It's just me being stupid again. Me not pressing the right buttons. Oh my God! Stephen threw a curveball on this one, of course. There you go. Where are we? Oh, big screen. There we go. Turn the music off. Yeah, good morning. Screw that up to the thing so it's ready for later. Yeah, just a little bit of a glitch there on the starting sequence. Pressing the wrong fucking buttons. Here we go. So there we go. All up and running now. It's all good. Glad I went and checked
Everybody's
that as well.
pushing the wrong buttons today.
Everybody's pushing the wrong buttons. Stephen's having trouble with his audio input. He's not pressing the right buttons there. He sent me an invite to join my server. I give up. Where are we? Anyway, so we got Ralph. He's obviously listening in the background. He's on a mobile there, listening in the background on the Discord. Yeah, I put a link up there at the beginning. If you want to join the Discord, just help yourself. Come along, come in. So who else we got? Oggy, say hello.
Hello, everybody.
There you go. Dalo's with us. Stephen Monash, he's there. He just can't get his audio working, and so we're up and running at least anyway. So how is everybody this morning? And how many we got? We got 9 viewers up and running. So we got a starting sequence. Okay, what are we looking for? Let's do the roundup. Let's get that out of the way while everybody turns up. Mr. Mitch, how you doing?
Hey, Mr. Mitch.
And get my browser up. There we go. Get myself out of the screen. Right, so it looks like Do More Life. He's still working on his stream there. Holding on to toxic relationship with Thai women. Yeah, okay. He still gets a fairly good live stream happening though. Yeah, what did I get? Okay, so the night out, the saxophone bar. Yeah, this is delayed. We did the live stream from that, the night before my birthday. This is actually the video coming out, so that's from 3 weeks ago. But yeah, I'm only just putting out a video a week now. So, well, unless of course there's something special happens. Andy Stubbs, Niall, how you doing? What else have we got? So Colin in Thailand. What do we got? So he did another 360. I'm going to be naughty, but I'll turn the volume off. But I do love the fact that you can go to these thing and you can stop that and you can actually. That's what I like about that. You don't have to watch what he's looking at. You can actually look around. I think that's great, don't you? I think it's brilliant. The wonders of technology. I've actually got my eye peeled to actually get one of these cameras at some stage. Where are you? Thai with Sarah. What you do? So, there we go. So what we're doing for our collab, talk with Thai with Sarah. Something on dating there as well. Going to the floating market soon. Oh yeah, good. 9 days to go, Dallo. That's what we like to hear. Not long to go now. Okay, so Maggie, she's still having a time of her life with her loved one. Better half or worst half or exactly the same halves. There we go. Brian's Thailand up there, still building more. And then we got Chucky. What's Chucky doing? No plans, just adventure. That's it, just living the good life. Thai life has never been so good. Yep, gotta love it. I come across this one the other day. As it uploads, a rainy night on Sukhumvit Road, Bangkok. I don't know when that was shot because I don't think we've had any rain in Sukhumvit for quite some time. But maybe there was like we do get some spot showers every so often through there. And of course when it does come down, it comes down pretty hard. So it's a pancake lens doing a lot of Thailand stuff. He popped up on my Facebook group, so I thought I'd give him a shout out there. Street Delicious, more food videos. Wild Job Tears, Thailand Chiang Mai. We get Fun for Emily. Rafting and ATV in Thailand. Living the good life again. I wonder how his business is doing in Vietnam. Haven't seen anything from that pop up. Stephen up in Chiang Mai. Serene Backyard Coffee. So my next two videos are coffee shop visits or coffee shop bistro visits with Chanya. Last Wednesday and the Wednesday before. Hope you like those ones when they come out. Direction Bangkok. Alan, what have you been up to? Super Sport Expo 2020. Okay, I mustn't have missed that one. 32 minutes ago. Okay, why do Thais jam eucalyptus sticks up there? Because they don't like the good stuff. That's probably why. Who the hell are you supposed to... Oh, come on. Just weigh everybody. If they're older than you, weigh them. If they're not, then wait for them to weigh you, then you weigh them. How's that? That's the easy answer for that one. And Stephen, somebody sending me something. Who's that? Somebody pinging me. Tim. He's going to say Google just gave millions. What's this one here? Google just gave. Yeah, Google's Chrome seamless updates have long been a part of. This is something Tim just sent me. Let's just stop for a quick news break. Here we go. Forbes. Google just gave millions of users a reason to quit Chrome. Chrome's seamless updates have long been a part of its appeal, but perhaps not anymore. With the latest version of Chrome already installed on hundreds of millions of computers and smartphones around the world, a significant warning has been issued that you may not like what is running inside. What's running inside? Picked up by the register Chrome 80. Check your versions. Yep, okay. Going through the settings, blah blah blah. This is a deep linking technology tied to website text, but multiple sources have revealed that it is potentially invasive privacy nightmare. To understand why requires a brief understanding. Okay. But yeah, like privacy, like although I've turned mine off. Hello Google.
Hey, hi, morning, Warren.
Hey, yeah. What's the weather like today in Bangkok?
Okay, I'm not in Bangkok.
It'll be sunny with a forecasted high of 35 and a low of 24. Currently it's 29 and mostly sunny.
Yeah, okay. It only listens to my phone when I actually sort of give it the turn on permission, but most people don't know to turn that on.
Okay,
anyway.
guys, I'm actually in Sakon Nakhon.
You suck on Nakhon, are you? So Boris,
Yeah.
If you don't know who Blue is, Blue's Inc., he's from Singapore, but he's in Sakon Nakhon. That's not too far from Sakon Nakhon. That's on east side of Bangkok.
Yeah, Warren, do you want to do a live chat on the
Live chat on the what? I've lost you. Lord Dark, hi from Canada. Go on. You're bouncing in and out there. I'm not getting any audio from you. You want to push the talk? Who's this guy talking? That's Blues Inc. He's from Singapore. He's up in Nakhon Sayok. He said, Sakon Nayok, Nakhon Sayok. Anyway, so there you go. So there's, I don't think people will quit.
Hello.
Stephen, you finally got it working. There you go. You pressed the right button.
I had to turn your video off.
Yeah. That's what you
completely
do.
for
Yes.
to work. Now I'm going to try and open your video back up as well. So, but I'll
Yep.
have to do that on another screen. So this time it worked through just closing your video down and going directly to Discord.
Yeah, it's because
So I don't know
Discord,
how.
your computer defaults are not set up properly. That's all. Oh, I tried to set it up when I did.
You
Yeah.
don't know. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what I'm talking about. But that is.
There we go. Now I think I've done it again. So I did it a different way to what I did last week.
Right,
But it's working, so you can all fuck off.
you've got it
Can you hear
always
me?
stuck in Florida. Fidelity Questa, there you go. We've got a few other people joining us.
Testing
as well.
again. Let me test
Yep.
again. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yes, we can hear you. You're louder than me, probably.
I can't hear my own voice. I can't hear my own voice.
Is he too loud? Let me just have a look at the audio levels here.
And I like the sound of my own voice, and I can't hear my own voice.
So he's picking the yellow. He's not. So it's about the same level as me.
Actually, I can hear. Okay, I don't know what I've done, but it did it.
Anyway.
Well done, sir.
Anyway, direction bank. So he's done a few things there. Foreigner Joe. Let's see if we can get this thing done. He almost crashed. Crashed intact. Manila. Okay, Niall, what have you done today? What are you up to, Niall? Streaming 5 days ago.
What side of the road do they drive on in Thailand?
Same as Australia. The correct side.
No. The answer is A, left side, B, right side, or C, any side.
Okay. Technically, they drive on the left-hand side, but yeah, let's not pick on Thailand.
From the videos, it looks like they drive on whichever road they see.
Yeah, well, both sides, basically.
Oh my God, Richard Taylor. Good morning, Richard. How you doing? Another week before you get here, I gather.
I'm a genius. So good on you. I don't know how I did it.
Press his button a minute.
Tried all the options, and here I am.
Yeah, so the whole, just to recap for people who don't know, the Discord's there. It's like a party line. You can come in. Anybody can come in and join. If you start swearing too much, I'll mute you. It's all right. But I don't have to invite people. Some people have asked why I don't use the StreamYard things and get the video on.
Although you need a PhD to get in there, though.
You do not. You got a PhD anyway. What are you talking about, Stephen? You told me you got a PhD, didn't you?
No, I haven't got a PhD, but
you got a doctorate.
I can study for one. I can study for one if I want, but I don't. It's not worth it.
Right. Okay. So there's yes.
Everything's been studied to death these days. There's nothing left to research.
That's a Jocko up there. Best things to do in Chiang Mai. Lots of stuff up there in Chiang Mai to do.
Oh, music.
Tommy Crush just super chatted for a quid. There you go. Thanks, Tommy Crush.
How much Aussie?
I don't know. That's $2 Aussie. It's actually
70 US.
Let's just not pick on it. It's all coffee money. It's all coffee money.
Is good. You can buy several cakes for that. 4 cakes.
He says the market stream was legendary. Oh yeah, look. We'll come back to this. Let me just give you a bit of a recap where we are with this. Okay, let me just get to the bigger screen. Okay, so we talked about the market video. Okay, so and yep, what have I got? I've got the stabilizer. I bought that yesterday. Went out there shopping with my mate.
It's not an unboxing; it's an unbagging.
So you click the button there and it turns itself on. They're ready to go. Nice stabilising unit there. Of course, I got no phone in there, so it won't stay quite stabilised. But yeah, we are ready to do stabilised live streaming. So that's the first thing I've done. I've got the Boyu mic, so I can. All I got to do is work out how to fit that so that it doesn't upset the apple cart. I might just.
Does it stabilise if you turn it upside down?
It does, but yeah, you got to do it a certain way, right? So you got it does work, yeah. But what I got to do is I got to work out how to mount this onto here, right? So that I can get that, and that's got to go up there, and then that pulls. You get a little bit more work to do, but I was testing some microphones out last night to see what would work best. But other than that, we're all good. Let me just turn that off again. Yeah, so be prepared. I think what we're trying to organise is we're going to go. Sean, it's his last day on Tuesday. I think he flies out on Tuesday. I said, let's organise to get together on Monday, and we'll go and do a live stream from within Icon Siam on his last day and see if he can get some goodies
Does
to
the
take back with him.
stabilizer, does it work when you're pissed or not?
Well, I bloody hope so.
That'd be the ultimate test.
I just got to work out how to make it. I just got to remember what buttons to press to make it all work. But yeah, so anyway, so we got the rig ready to go. That's just that cost 2,000 baht. So that was $80 Australian. So other than that, it's all it's all ready to run. I'll probably go out and do some offline or some unlisted tests tomorrow. If you're around, this time or maybe 11 o'clock tomorrow morning Thailand time, maybe just check the Discord. If you're here, then I might give you an unlisted link while we're going to run some tests. So we're just to a private group. I don't want to go public with me screwing things up. You know how it goes. I'm an IT guy. I got to test everything. Anyway, so Ian Welldale, excuse me, up there in the north, smog and drone. I do remember sort of seeing a air quality index come through. I think it was Wednesday. Sort of 240 was the air quality index up there on Wednesday or something like that. Absolutely ridiculous. Dan about Thailand. Stephen Monash, there we go. Dan about Thailand. You're going to ask any questions there. I like the little tune. Don't you like the little tune? Okay, so spectacular patio sunset view from the great seafood. Where is it? BB Barbecue Buffet at Siam at Siam Designed Hotel. I'm not even quite sure where that is. I wonder if you put a link in there. They won't play the video for copyright reasons. But did he show the... no, see again... Not many people do what I do, but I always put a map pin link so that people can find these places you talk about. Dan, put map pin links in so we know where you're going. That would be a good idea. My Adventures in Thailand. There we go. I think this is another new channel I come across on the Facebook group. Crowdfunding a golden Buddha, extension sun deck. Hasn't got very many hasn't got very many subscribers. There you go. What's his about page? So videos about anything to do with Thailand, lots of growing things, house construction and food, but anything to do with Thailand could be here. I don't know the guy. I haven't actually watched the videos yet, but I'm sure he gives his name here somewhere. I got a feeling he was Aussie, just from his voice, but I could be wrong. Jade, how you doing? What's going on with your sound, Warren? But my sound here, is it working now? Sound working? Everything working? Everything's good, isn't it?
Seems to be working to me.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, of course, when I preview other channels, I don't have the sound on because that's a copyright infringement. It's their intellectual property, so I might do a shot, but I don't want to be doing the wrong thing. Big Fat Bestie. We hung out with Big Fat Bestie. Just got a weird noise in the background. I don't know. Ma Cow. Sound good. Yeah, good. Thanks, Wayne. Thanks, Ma. And Wayne York. How you going today, Wayne? Trying to keep a track of everybody coming in and out. We've got 29 viewers already. It's not even, I haven't even got the bloody review. What is it? 20 minutes into the video. There we go. Big Fat Bestie. So he's now doing his hotel reviews. He's got his finger out. We have had beers with him on Tuesday night. It was a lot of fun. Our bi-weekly meet-up at the Down Under Bar. Bestie and a few others joined in. A couple of other new Thailand vloggers that I haven't put on the list yet because I haven't really got to know them yet. And that's more about, not so much Thailand, it's more, I think one's about cars and the other one's about business. But they will be included once I square that away with them. Again, because of the type of people they are, I was a bit concerned the fact that they may not want a bit of a shout out on this. But I'll wait to actually catch up with them this week, and then hopefully, put them in the roundup list. I've subscribed to their channel. I just haven't subscribed this particular one to the channel. Anyway, Eyes of a Thai. More streaming. Yeah. Nid, our lovely Nid down there. And then Ethan. Tommy Crow, Big Fat Bear's a fraud. He's not even fat. Yeah, we actually said that to him on Tuesday. You're going to have to change your name to him.
He's a fraud. He's not.
The slimming, the soon to be slim bestie, or something like that. Yeah. He says he likes the name. He's going to stick with the name. But even though he's losing weight, we're all putting it on and he's taking it off. It's not really fair, is it? Anyway, what are you doing, Ethan? It's Korea. So it's a Korean video. Okay, and then sort of we got. We should be doing some streams with Tim. Maybe Tim might join us on the little trip through Icon Siam, and get him up and running. On his live stream. He's just made his 1,000 subscribers, so they've turned on his ability to live stream from his phone. So that's something that's coming up. So stay tuned for Tim's channel for live streaming. I think he needs 200 more hours before he can turn on the AdSense or the Super Chat, same thing. But yeah, a couple of live streams from Tim in the next month, and he'll get over the line quite quickly on that one.
I think he is fat, Tommy Crush, but his middle section of his body is just small. He's only 5'1".
Right. Yeah, on the sound, I've got the mixer up. I'm running at minus 5 dB, but I do sort of see that I'm peaking on the red here a little bit. But I would have thought that wouldn't have been a problem, considering the Wednesday's live stream was a bit on the light side. That's something I'm trying to sort out to get the audio working properly on the phone there. That's going to do some more testing. Yes, looks like he hasn't actually put his Stephen hasn't put his links up for his live streams tonight, tomorrow night. I expect he will.
What?
Yeah, I did hear about the Holden being. Yeah, so we've had what they call a sort of Chevy have closed down their big thing here in Thailand, and there was a 50% off sale. They sold all Florum stock in all their dealerships on Wednesday. Absolutely amazing. I think I heard one story. Somebody went in with a credit card, pretty much an unlimited credit card, and said, "I want to buy everything." And he said, "Well, you're looking at the queue. In the queue, I'm sorry, there'll be none left. First in, first served." He was going to buy up a dozen or something like that on his credit card. But yeah, it's the stories you're hearing. But yeah, GM's out as well. Trouble is, this is a problem. I think some of these bigger businesses, these bigger multinationals, they're going to have to seriously review, the 7-figure salaries they're paying some of these freaking managing directors of companies, because I reckon that's one way of sort of turning the tide on any sort of multinational, is paying some realistic salaries for these arseholes that sort of live on the top of the fucking perch.
What about that guy? Was it the guy from Woolworths? He's on 300 million, and he said, "I'm not taking my bonus," but he'd underpaid his staff.
Yeah,
hadn't paid them for months.
300 million. 300 million. I know, it's ridiculous, isn't it? How about you stop paying these arseholes these ridiculous salaries, right?
My salary is ridiculously small.
Yeah, that's right. The Chinese have purchased that plant down here in Thailand, so it's going from GM to GWM. Anyway, so here we go. Aussie. So David Anoy over here, Thailand Korat barbecue and music. That was 13 hours ago. You put that up. That was last night, I guess. That's Terminal 21 Korat. So he's been up there probably checking out the aftermath of that. A few other interesting videos there. Andy Wright, again, actually he did something special. AWT, Andy Wright Thailand chat on Wednesday. He did a impromptu stream there, looks like it. Plus he's up to, day 17 of his trip out here last October. Robert Mack, he's not in Thailand, but he's doing a coronavirus update there. If you want to check that out. Yep, hit the thumbs up, guys. I don't actually see those numbers on. I have to go and click on the other. Click on the
27 watching, 20 thumbs up.
Yeah, it's good. It's always the numbers are there.
Do you want a thumbs down or not?
No, it's all right. That just makes this.
It all counts.
I made a new thing. I'm going to get some T-shirts printed up with this. Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
We should try for 21 thumbs up and 21 thumbs down, but it won't work that way, will it? No, you can't.
Yeah, there we go. So I missed Nick. What was the note? This went past Nick there. So I think he's ready for a soft opening.
Yeah, we've got a thumbs down.
He's ready for a soft opening of his new bar. The official.
2 thumbs down. We've got 2 thumbs down. It's going up. It's going up.
That's what we want.
All hits.
They bounce them up and down. They go and change it. It's all right. So Nick, I think he's got the soft opening this weekend. I'm really not quite sure. I haven't heard much. I haven't sort of seen my feed on.
Warren sits in the corner and sobs if he gets too many thumbs down.
Leave me alone. But I believe the hard openings in. Can we stay on track here? I'm trying to get this thing done, right? So we're half an hour into it. I should have had this finished by now. But yes, the hard opening's another couple of weeks. Hopefully, I'm going to get down there for the hard opening, and we'll shoot we'll probably go live. I said I got the gear. I should have it all. Shut up, Stephen. Stop crying. Rob, what's Rob got out there? So he's a little bit of a fighting video there. He's got a lot of trolls on this one. What's the Nightwish group? Again, it's just something that happens when people don't like the whole idea of the Nightwish group. Hey, it's a legitimate business. They own a few bars and patios. So what? Just because these trolls can't afford to put money together to own a bar or something and have a business, it's their fault. Not Nick, not the Nightwish group, or not Nick. Actually make an attempt to make something in your life. Anyway, Serena, the last one on the list there. Where is she? Uploads there. Ben Tuck Street Food Market, Ho Chi Minh. So she's over there in there. I think we've covered everybody. Did I miss anybody? I don't think so.
Who's that one? Serena,
Thailand. Yeah, lovely lady boy down in Phuket. She lives in Phuket.
Oh.
Anyway, so here we go. What about David W UK? Good morning from Chiang Mai, up there in Chiang Mai. Good on you. Why wouldn't he get trolls selling out to the Nightwish? Look, it's personal choice, I don't see why. This is the thing that let me see, where is it? I've been creative recently. Let me see if I can find it.
I want to GoFundMe for all the time I spend getting onto Discord.
Oh, there we go. I spent 15 minutes the other day. There we go. You like that one there? I'm gonna get some. I'm going to get some T-shirts printed up with this on it. What do you think? You like my artwork?
Suit you.
That's a serious troll problem right there.
I think it'd make good T-shirts. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think it would.
It might be my first.
Yeah, I like it.
My first T-shirt my first T-shirt on my merchandising store whenever I finally get around to putting it up.
Did you make that? Did you?
Oh yeah, that's my design. Yeah.
That's pretty good, right?
Oh look, it's cut and paste the bits and pieces you find everywhere else, but it's actually like it's creative property in Photoshop. I've stolen bits from here and bits from there to actually make something.
Get the T-shirts printed. Get it printed and put the references on the back of it.
Put the references on the back. But yeah, I'll get that sorted out at some stage. Shane Cashman, good afternoon. How's Mackay up there? You know, still nice and warm for you? You got I believe you've had a bit of rain up there too, have you? Yeah, I sort of Jonty and Dave. They haven't even approached me. I'm just not worth their the whole thing. I don't live in Pattaya, which is that's where they are. They haven't approached me to be part of their little program, and so I have no idea what's about. Maybe if they called me up and said something, if there was money in it, I might take the money. I might sell out. I'm sort of sick and tired of YouTube screwing things up. They've changed the algorithm again. Like I'm not getting the same sort of placements on my videos as I have. So something's screwed up there in YouTube land. Half the views that I was getting. What's going on there? So something's changed. The video content that I've been doing is pretty much the same, apart from the fact that it's only one a week and not two a week. But I said I'm going to start focusing on these.
Strange which videos YouTube demonetizes too. Like there's a couple on Sapienza you did, on the China virus and everything like that, and sort of anti-China, and they
look, I'll be quite. Look, I'm quite happy to be transparent on this whole thing. Let me see if I can find it. Go to my dashboard. Actually, I probably didn't want to do that. Let me go back again. I really need to open up in another window. Open a new window, right? So there we go. That's my dashboard. I'm not. I don't give a. If you want to know what the numbers run, 5,476 subscribers. My revenue's up a little bit. That's what they do. So there you go. That's what I make. People want to fucking begrudge you about how much money you make.
Where's the number?
Oh, well, let me get out of the freaking screen. There you go. Alright, so my views are down, 21% down on my views, and my watch time's down 17%. Revenue's up, but that's because the super chat. We got 32
That's because you're
views.
sponsored by a notebook.
I'm not sponsored. Yes, I'm not sponsored by Nightwish. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but yeah. So we're getting into the sort of the nitty gritty. So that was my testing the boy. I think I can delete that now. That was for Tim.
You need to get sponsored by 7-Eleven.
And delete that. Okay. So like this one here, this Thai with Sarah, the visit to the salon. Like after 2,000 views, they turned the AdSense off on it. Really? Okay, the live videos. This is more the stuff there. Okay, so Wednesday night, copyright claim. So it's got 465 views on that video, right? That would have made, right? You get about $1.50 AdSense, right, for every 1,000 views, right? So 75 cents. The person on that, okay, so 75. I have to share that with this guy here because it's background music. 1 minute of background music.
Was that at the motor shows, was it?
No, that was just the wander around the market there. So if I go to the monetization there.
Pedantic.
Right, sharing, okay, so view copyright claim. I don't mind talking about this stuff. People want to know this stuff. So between 37.27 and 38.37, so it's 1 minute and 10 seconds of background music at this location. There was a piece of music from some, for GMM Publishing EMI Music, right? I could quite easily contest it. Seriously, I could contest it. This is say it's only 1 minute and 10 seconds. It's background music, right? And then they would then have to file what they call a takedown notice, right? But then of course you actually get a strike, right? Because you've contested it, and that you run the risk of actually getting a contest, and that's just one example. But it's seriously, it's just a joke.
Right,
our Saturday morning, there's been more swearing recently, or they've changed something in the algorithms. I don't know what it is. So limited, they've turned off ads for most viewers. Turned off ads probably because I'm saying fuck more, fuck. There you go, fuck. Turn the money off this one.
Probably because you're breathing.
Then again, that's the copyright claim. That was a saxophone bar again. Well, that was there was live music, but the match actually matched up with a legitimate recording enough to actually strike. So there we go. It's another one not suitable. This is what happens. Not suitable, not suitable. What, because I swear? It's a joke. That's why we're going more on the live stream. As I said, a $3 super.
So frugal. They're trying to get money back anywhere they can.
Yeah. A $3 super chat. At least I get to keep 75% of that, right? YouTube still skim 25% of the super chat too. There's no doubt about that. But I get to keep 75%. So a $3, shout, it's a $3 super chat, right? That's equivalent to a 2,000 view video. So that's why everybody's going. That's why everybody who gets over that line, that's why they're doing the live streams. Because the YouTube are just the ecosystem for YouTube. Unless of course you've got 100,000 subscribers, you're into the clickbait, you're into all the bullshit, then it's just not worth it anymore. So I've
it doesn't
actually
seem to matter how big you are either one. Like Spencer, between him and Lowry's 66, they've got well over 1 million views. 1.5 million subscribers, sorry. It doesn't seem to matter how big you are, they'll demonetize you, whatever they feel like doing.
Yeah, so there we go.
Doesn't seem to make a difference. You know what I mean?
Advanced settings.
I wonder if Casey Neistat has to go through all this bullshit.
Upload defaults, monetization, yeah. So what I've done is I've sponsored ads, overlay ads, yeah. So I've turned off ads during the video because that was pissing me off. I was showing a bit of my own video and freaking damn bloody throw freaking ads in my video. So I've turned that off. I've turned off the non-skippable ads because that was also pissing me off. Right, but that's only just recently changed. It's got nothing to do with anything else. The fact that I was giving you the chance to help promote freaking your advertising. Well, now you're screwing us over. I might as well bugger you.
Then they'll demonetize more, won't they?
It's just YouTube. It's just the way they again, if there was an alternative for a free hosting of your videos, I'd go there. But yeah, so now you'll only get a video. You only get the ads when you join or when you finish to watch the whole video. So you won't get any more. That's now going forward. I'm not going to go back through my whole channel and change 430 bloody videos. But yeah, so that's now my advertising defaults. Fuck 'em, You want to screw us over? Well, I'll screw you over as well. At least their algorithm will see the fact that they can put ads on my videos, so I won't lose any ranking placement on that factor. But yeah, sort of analytics, reach. What have we got there? Impressions. So my CTR, well, it's dropped a little bit. But they're just not putting my damn videos in front of other people. That's the problem, It's the impression 7% down. Well, again, it could be the fact that I've gone to the one video a week versus 2 or 3 videos a week. But again, it's, you start to think of it. You do 2 to 3 videos a week. You start. Oh, there. Thanks, Dale. Have 2,000 more views on me, he says. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Come on. 10 seconds later.
Where's the little tune?
I don't know. It's going to come up in a second.
Take it back, Dale. You didn't get your little tune.
Wait, I didn't get a little tune. Come on. Streamlabs.
1,000 views. It's 1,999. You're a cent short.
You're right. One wonders how a certain bar that live streams on a certain bar that live streams on a regular basis, how they avoid copyright infringements. Just saying. Well, again, depends on it. You got to understand how a music waveform works, and they did finally came through the.
There it is. No, I didn't see it.
It took a while to come through for some reason. I don't know why. Just a bit of a delay there on Streamlabs. Hey.
Oh, here it is. There it is.
Yeah, so and again, it's depending on the music. So there's a lot of music that you can go to. Like if you go to YouTube again, and I can't. It's got to be YouTube, not ZooTube. maybe I can copyright ZooTube. Get a domain name.
T-shirt. T-shirt.
NCS.
Oh, Disney's probably already done it.
You got no copyright sound. So like the 724 videos here on this particular channel, for instance, right now you can play this music without any strikes, you know, and the music's not like that. It's just a bit too boppy for me. I just haven't found anybody else who's doing more regular rock and roll.
Didn't Sunny in Thailand put up a website or something, or a YouTube channel that has all this? Like you got different tunes? I don't know.
Well, they have their own tunes. So you've got this thing here. You've got the audio library. You know, this is all. So if I take the attribution off. So you know, like we want to hear some Genes. You know, let's do some rock. This has got nothing to do with what we're going to talk about today, but we might as well talk about it. So we did cinematic classic, hip hop, rap, dance, to jazz, pop, rock. There we go, rock. So let's have a look at the rock Genes. You could quite easily have this playing in the back. You make a playlist of all these tunes, had it playing in the background. Yeah, but it's just not, you know. Again, are you at the bar to listen to music, or is it just background music, or what? You don't know. And again, if it's far enough away from the thing, like this thing here is a condenser mic, so it might not pick so much. You know, it's also unidirectional, so it'll only focus and it'll cut out the sounds at 90 degrees. That could also improve, you know, picking up all that stuff in the background, you know. So, but it's, you know, they got stacks of music you can use for free. That's not attribute.
You don't use it a lot, do you? Like the music or
well, I have all my stuff in the stuff I've downloaded. Where is it? If I go there, go to Google Drive. Where are we? My Google Drive here, and so royalty free music. So this is the stuff I have downloaded. Okay. I made a few new tunes. This one, a news intro. I think this is one that you probably, it's on the Bangkok Insider, little 5-second intro piece. But that's no copyright sort of sounds on that. But yeah, there's alarm sounds. You do. You spend a lot of time picking them up. You're downloading and picking them up and things like that. And they're in my.
You're putting them on just for the sake of it, is it?
They're in my library. So yeah. So, and of course I've now lost my fat rat, so I need to go and put that back up on there. But, no, we're not stopping. We're just getting it ready to play again. Anyway, so again, tell you how YouTube runs. It's a mug's game, but as I said, you know, in my book, it's all about the fact that, you know, I can get it out there, I can entertain people, try to give some good information, right? It's not about the money, but hey, look, the money's good, you know. As Stephen's always on my case about the fact that if you can make, you know, a couple of $100 a month on YouTube, it pays your rent over here, you know. You know. And that means I can spend a couple of $100 more a month on Chanya's, you know, dresses. She's still in bed, by the way. She hasn't got up yet.
Yeah.
Darling, wake up. She didn't get out. She didn't
pull the curtain back. The show started.
She'll be up shortly. We're live streaming, darling. Wake up. Wake up. She's not playing. She didn't get until 5 o'clock in the morning or something like that. The bar I talk about plays current commercial music. They would have. Well, I said the thing is, back on the whole music thing, right? This is something that's fairly new on the whole way it works, which is the fact that you get the strike is what they call a copyright claim. It's not a strike, right? It's a copyright claim. So you can, you know, that background music, the new way it works is, unless of course they, the record company issues a takedown notice, then you won't actually get a video strike. You can have that that music playing in the background ad infinitum, like a current radio station, not a problem. Probably every second tune that's played will have a copyright claim on it, right? So if you're live streaming for an hour and you get 10 music tracks, 5 of those music tracks will be copyright claimed, right? So if you've got 1,000 people viewing that over an hour, you're going to make $1.50, right? Those 5 artists will all take a share, including you. You'll take 1/6, they'll take 1/6 of the $1.50. Wow. Whereas a super chat that goes to YouTube and me.
What about Thai music? Just play Thai music.
Well, they're all in it. Every record company does this stuff. That's their game now.
Is the Thai music copyrighted? I mean,
well, that one that was on that live there, I won't play it here because it's again it'll strike here. But this particular piece was a piece of. Well, let me go to the copyright claim. I can play you 10 seconds of it. Where are we? Monetization. Sharing.
What about my singing? Was that copyrighted?
No, they don't. The algorithm doesn't match your poor singing capability, unfortunately.
That's the breach of copyright.
So here we go. Let's have a listen to it. What was that? Well, let's go. That's 27. So we want about there. You probably hear it there. So it is a Thai song, right? Con now ti kau jai tia. Did I pronounce that properly?
Understand something, yeah. Something means understand. Kau now.
Yeah. So that's a Thai song. It was so that record company has claimed ownership. Right, EMI Music, and EMI are probably the worst. So, this is the thing. Like one of these days, the artists will go, the 5 cents per play that I make, and the 95 cents per play that you make, or 95% that the record company makes versus the 5% the artist makes, is totally screwed. So Jade Star. It's not only record labels. I run my own independent label, and if anyone plays any of my music on YouTube or Facebook, it's copyrighted. Yeah, so you've already sort of got your music's already identified in the YouTube ecosystem, right? So you are the owner. Again, if somebody played one of my videos and put it on their station, I got a few of that. Where's my? I got to go to Classic to find that sort of stuff. Skip that shit. Go to Legacy Classic. There was something in the Classic there that told me what videos people have stolen of mine and put up. But again, I don't give a fuck about it. Copyright notices, yeah. I haven't had anything for a. Oh, come on! Open up the damn link, would you? Copyright notices. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So here we go. So this one here is. That's my copyright notices. Yeah, that's not my stuff. There's another place. I've got to find where it is. It's just so hard to freaking find anything on bloody YouTube anymore. Yeah, so my channel's still in good standing. I'm not ready for it. I can't find it. There's a place where it tells me all the videos I put up, again, have been identified in their ecosystem. So if somebody plays all or part or puts that in their video, I will be notified that and they will do it. If it's monetization and everything else, there will be I will be able to put ads on you get the. It's a weird system, but as I said, I'm not here to sort of try to tell you how YouTube runs. I just be a little bit more transparent. And this is what you're going to get from me and my channel this year. It's a bit more. We've always been about being down to earth and sort of giving you how. Zero Cooley's joined the Discord there. Reality TV, reality video, reality. It's about real life. I don't mind sort of giving you the ins and outs of my poor little channel here, how it works. Quite happy to teach people how it works. And for any of those trolls that come online and to say, "Oh, he's making $1.50 for every 1,000 video views," well, whatever. God, some people they really have got no sense of proportion. ZC, how are you? Yep. Well, everybody's coughing. We've all got the coronavirus. Where is it? It's a Jade Star. You are equal opportunities employer, Jade. That's it. Yeah. I've been making a killing with my new business, making music for individual podcasts and YouTube channels. We'll have to look at that stuff with you offline sometime, Jade. If you're doing any rock music.
Can you hear me? I think I had the mic off.
There you go. G'day, how are you?
Brother, doing good, doing all right. Good to see you guys. Just got home from work a little while ago. Glad you're doing all right.
Good. John Tim Dave tells me he has the Marlboro virus. There we go.
Marlboro virus. That's good.
Anyway, we did have a couple of articles to discuss, outside my.
Wazza, I said our Thai word of the week was Hinduay.
Hinduay, yeah, that's right.
We should have one at every stream now. We should incorporate this. We need one Thai word of the week. So that's a new one. Hinduay.
Sarah did one on her TikTok the other day. Which is actually something that when we talk about Thai language, all the language schools will teach you. It's sabadi mai, sabai di mai. That's your general greeting when you're in Thailand, which is like how are you. But Thais actually don't say that. It's gin kao ryu ruyang. Gin kao ruyang is the greeting that Thais will use between themselves. Basically, it translates. Hopefully, I said that right. I'm really not all that good on the phonetics. Gin kao ruyang, which basically means have you eaten yet? That is more a general Thai hello done between Thais because food is their life. So something to take away there. But if you want to learn Thai, I'm not going to teach you Thai. Go and subscribe to Sarah's channel. She's the one who's teaching them. She's a Thai teacher.
I always get have you had a happy ending yet? I always get that one. No.
Do you know the Thai for that one?
Yeah.
Well, let's see if Google knows the hello.
Okay. Put happy ending up on the Google Translate. See what it means.
Where are we? So Google Translate.
Do you have Siri? Do you have Siri? Google Siri when you can ask Siri?
Oh, yeah. I've got Apple. I don't have Apple. I've got Android.
Can you ask it questions or not?
You have
Siri, what does happy ending mean?
Right, okay, so
คุณมีความสุขไหม
คุณมีความสุขไหม คุณมีความสุขไหม
That was for happy ending, was it?
Did you have a happy ending?
Is that right, Jade?
คุณมีความสุขไหม คุณมีความสุขไหม
คุณมีความสุขไหม there
well,
you go. Start using that one. Start using that one amongst your friends. Start using that amongst your friends. God, no, I'm not doing well.
It's all going downhill.
It's all going downhill. I've got to get a grip, Stephen. Okay, so just for fun, this one.
Jade, does that mean Jade? Is that correct?
Just for fun. Here we go. You think Thailand's?
You think
Thailand's weird? There's the top 10 W2F. No, let me get my face out of the screen again so you can read it. Top 10 what the fuck reasons U.S. sex laws. Oral sex is illegal in 18 states, including Arizona. We'll go into this before we start.
Especially with your mouth full.
In Virginia, it's illegal to have sex with lights on. You think Thailand's strange? Come on, Great. Okay, I'm not picking on the US. I'm not picking on Americans. They're just going to laugh at this stuff. I'm sure we have similar things in Australia, but it doesn't become public yet. Okay, number 10. Sex with animals is perfectly legal for men in Washington State as long as the animal weighs less than 40 pounds. Honestly, really. What was the other one that came up the other day? I thought this was just poignant as well. There we go. Yahweh versus Satan. Yahweh drowned billions of people. Satan didn't. Yahweh hates gays. Satan didn't. Satan doesn't. Watches you masturbate. Satan doesn't give a shit. Has really annoying fan base. Created metal music. Yay! There, Satan. He created metal music. Yeah, that's it. We love Satan. What about the new vilification or the anti-religious or anti-religion vilification laws? It's backfiring on ScoMo down there in Australia as well, from what I understand. Basically, if it does get passed, you can basically tell Christians to go F themselves as well. And there's nothing they can do about it because you're well within your religious rights to tell them how you think. I think the whole thing's going to get shot down in flames. But yeah, I don't know. I've never worked in Thailand, only Oz. Normally used to, so get out. Okay. And do I agree? Yeah, it's the word. Yeah. Okay.
As soon as it's 12 o'clock, you tell them to get out.
Okay, well, I do have let's just close that. That was that. What's the article? It's Thailand News. What was the thing that we were going to look at today?
Saudi clap. Thai with Sarah's in the house. Thai with Sarah's in the house.
Thai, good morning, Sarah. How are you? Just gave you a plug there. I was trying to do your little TikTok video. It's probably butchering the Thai language as I usually do.
Lucky you went on about 5 minutes earlier. Sarah was R-rated.
Gin Kao Ru Yang. She's probably she'll tell me I got my phonetics all wrong or my tones all wrong. You watch.
Gin Kao Ru Yang. Kao Join Moi.
Kao Join
Moi Clubbing.
Stop.
You do it with different accents, couldn't you?
Right, where are we? Let me try to copy that link. Copy the link. Here we go. Okay, here we go. This one came up on the feed this week. I thought we might as well. This was going to be the discussion for. I'll get away with the whole Paddy Unplugged. 10 reasons why Western foreign tourists are not wanted as badly as the Thai Tourism Ministry versus Indians, Chinese, Russians and Koreans, etc. It's just an interesting, this is one guy's take on this. How come the camera? So I'm just eating. Yes, that's obviously one guy's opinion, but I thought that it was worth exploring this one here as a discussion piece. Sort of, getting a little bit of everybody all in on the subject. So there we are. 10 reasons why Western foreign tourists are not wanted as badly by the Thai Tourism Ministry versus Indians, Chinese, Russians, Koreans, etc.
Number one.
But it's sponsored by the Nightwish Group, this particular magazine. There you go.
Oh,
there
that's a big
you go.
one.
There you go. There's their Nightwish plug there. They're not paying me to plug them, but there you go. Okay, so he goes on to obviously qualify where it's going. It's been a while since I've written a long blog, but blah blah blah. The following is making a point that these are my opinions based on talks he's had many different whānau around the place. There are no specific order of importance. By the way, the author is a Western American and is guilty of most of these reasons himself before anyone alleges bias. I thought it was nice that he actually put that in, So, he sort of says he's just as guilty of the problems as what he talks about. So,
nice disclaimer.
Okay, so here we go. Do you want to read it, Stephen, or
well, I can do number one. Do you want it in Thai or English?
you can. I'm just going to scan back on the chat to see if I've missed anything. That's all. You can read the first one out.
You're assuming I could read. Western foreigners tend to complain more online. That's bullshit. Oh, sorry, I just did Troll, is that a verb or is that a noun?
Troll, yeah.
Write
Troll.
Negative reviews and feedback and bicker among themselves in general. Bilingual or read comment threads and forums is mostly Western foreigners from England, America, Australia, and Scandinavia complaining. That's bullshit. In native language forums for India and Southeast Asian countries, there is significantly less complaining. Well, not in English, they do it in their own language. And open infighting. This extends not only to forums, but in person, which brings me to number 2.
So let's look at number 1. Okay, so this again, it is a bit skewed. Like if you do an anti-Muslim thing and to call out Pakistanis, mate,
exactly.
the hate you will get, right, is ridiculous, right? I won't make specific references, but some channels have gone ballistic just by putting one.
Yeah,
or
you
two.
speak about China. If you speak about China, like doesn't matter anything, even the coronavirus, as the channels we spoke about earlier, Sapienza, ZA, and all that. As soon as they speak, they even had their videos demonetized, but also the Chinese hate channels but they're all in Chinese writing, you see. So that's why we don't think there's many Asians complaining, but in fact they complain just as much as we do.
Well,
in fact, probably more.
I think we also sort of said when we were talking about it during the week, the other sort of side is don't forget, Westerners, apart from Stephen, everybody else has been playing on the internet for 15 years. Stephen only just got the internet last week, so he's still new at the game. But we've been online for 15 years, whereas like the Chinese have had a suppressed internet. Other places have only got an internet take up in the last 5 years.
It's still a generalisation, really.
Yeah, it is, but it's still. I can see where he's coming from. Specifically, the fact that we have there is this what they call the hate culture or the troll culture, and it is pervasive through Western society, right? The armchair critics. We call them the armchair critics. Hey, thanks again, Dalo. There we go. T-shirt XL, please. Okay, well, when I get them made, I'll make sure I'll get your address and I'll get you one sent. There you go. Hopefully the girl down the road can get them done. I know who to take the artwork to. She does stickers. I think she can do T-shirts as well, but we'll have to look into that. Anyway, but getting back to the whole Western foreigners thing, look, I can see where he's coming from. Right.
I don't think they control more online. It depends which if you're on a Chinese, what do they call it, WeChat or something, you'll see just as much bitching and complaining. So that's bollocks, but it may be true within a Western YouTube channel, of course, because obviously they're Westerners who watch it. I mean,
that's a good point, Ralph. Is that a Western XL or is it a Thai XL? Because like a Western XL is like a Thai triple XL. We're going to know which one. We'll work it out, though.
Well, according to the first comment, either one you get, you're going to complain, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So look, I think it's valid, but again, it's within 2 to 3 years. I'm pretty sure that we're going to have just as much bitchiness coming from Asia, right? The general discontent everywhere at the moment is pervasive, right? And the first place people go to vent their annoyance, like I said, we're going to have a whole bunch of anti-government stuff happening in Thailand. That third running party in Thai government, the High Court or the Constitutional Court has now disbanded that whole government or that whole party. So basically, they've got now a month to align. Each one of those representatives have now got a month to align themselves with another party, right? Or they'll have to put the seat up for re-election, right? This is going to cause a whole lot of hate within Thailand because
you put up a satirical picture of Muhammad and see how many non-Western trolls you get.
Yeah. But yeah, so again, it's valid in sort of some things, but we're going to we do see it from a perspective of why aren't they taking care of us here? We put money into Thailand. We spend money. We spend the equivalent of probably a single Farang will spend the equivalent of a whole Thai family in the economy. And why don't they make it easy for us? Well, unfortunately, we are such a small minority in that group of people, right? These immigration laws are based around the fact that you've got people coming in from Myanmar, from Laos, from Cambodia. There are border crossings, but like seriously, they can't control the whole Mekong River, and anybody could row across on one of those little freaking boats that they have, or a long tail boat. They can do that at night. And they're coming in, they sneak over the border, and then they go and taking Thai jobs. That's what all the immigration laws are all about. It's not like
I think so. I think so. I don't think I think that's the main reason.
Yeah. Really, the whole thing with the whole immigration thing is based on the fact that the Westerners are such a small minority, right? And they're trying to protect Thailand. They're trying the economy. They're trying to keep the money in Thailand because I said these the Laos and the Cambodia, they come across. They get paid more to work at the local rice shop than they do when they're across the border. So they sneak across. They work there, then they sneak back at night, and they take their 300 baht, which is worth more to them over in their country, and feeds their whole family, right? The trouble that Thailand can't control the exodus of all these little bits of money, and this cash society, it makes Thailand not as competitive along the whole thing. You got to understand where it comes from. Anyway, number two. What?
Number two. Hold on, I'm not with you. Sorry, number two. You want me to read it again?
All right, I'm just going to go number two. There we go. There we go. So just
Western foreigners. You right?
Yep.
Western foreigners are more demanding in person, in general. If something goes wrong, especially Americans like myself, we complain loudly, long, and demand a resolution to talk to managers. Many of the other tourist demographics will not make mountains out of molehills and or get upset over relatively minor issues. A bit of a generalisation. There is a reason why most news articles about a foreigner being attacked are usually Westerners, with the odd Korean and Russian here and there. The sad thing here is that for those from a Western customer service upbringing, they understand that a complaint is an opportunity to fix a problem generally. Customer who cares. Because of the face issue with many Southeast Asian nationals, they see Southeast Asian, I think the acronym means Southeast Asian nationals, they see a complaint as a personal attack or an insult when it's not.
Yeah. Well, I can see where this comes from. And sorry, go on.
See, it's in culture as well, because the entire top line of that paragraph, and of course I'm a Southern American and living in the South, and it, that top part you deal with quite a bit, and like you said, when you hear that complaint, you think, hey, why are they complaining? There's a reason. How can I fix this? And sometimes it's just difference in how people take it. And
yeah, well, exactly. Like I said, a lot of places you go to in Australia actually have special little boxes, How can we do better? Like complaints box, it's actually encouraged in our society to critique, right? And again, that's the difference. There is a critique. We grew up, or I grew up, learning the difference between a critique and a general outright slander. We're not taught that in school these days. The fine art of language. I think it would do well if you probably tweak this and change that a little bit. It would probably increase the customers. I think a typical one here we hear quite often through the different circles is that's Sonny, I think, in his restaurant, mentioned it or I might have been Sonny or somebody, I can't remember who it was, but he says the whole idea of discounting a meal, right, to get people to come into your shop and then buy more, right, is sort of an unheard of practice here in Thailand, right? Discounts, why would you discount, right? Whereas it's a common thing, and so, but if it's the same, saying to a Thai, well, why don't you do your moo steak prick thai dum? Why don't you offer it at 50% off? Right, people will come to the restaurant. That's just one dish, but they're not only going to come. So some will come in and they will have just that dish, right? But they probably wouldn't have come in before, right? As long as you cover your costs, right? You sell it. You sell it cost price, right? But they will buy other stuff. It seems to be something that's missing here in the Thai, restaurant culture, for instance. And this is something that has been verified by a number of different sources. But I
think it's an easy sometimes. Sorry to interrupt, Ron. I think it's sometimes an easy thing to say, Australians are this and Americans are this. These are just generalisations, really. Because if you define an American, what is an American? What is an Australian? What is it? They're multicultural societies. To sort of put it under the guise of a particular nation is I just think stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
Well,
but I did see an American. Yeah, I did see an American girl one time in Vietnam. She was yelling at the reception saying how dirty her room was. And she said, you're nothing but lazy. At least, you can paint it at least. You lazy bastards or whatever. She made me laugh. But, yeah.
Jonty and Dave there just put a nice comment there. He hears complaints from Westerners nearly on a daily basis. And some of the complaints are so trivial. You think to yourself, idiot, but don't say it. Thais have no filter. They do. They as I said here, they take it to heart. They think it's a personal attack. Whereas just the way the Westerners are. I can see where he's coming from. Let's put it that way. It's just.
There's such an absurdity. It's a generalisation. Americans are this, British are this. Have you met every British? Have you met every Australian? Like Hugh Jackman said, the actor. When his girlfriend said, "You're the most stupid man in the world," he says, "Have you met everybody in the world?" It's the same thing. It's generalisations.
And here's Sarah telling us she's most demanding when it comes to restaurant services because she used to be a server herself. And again, that's another thing. But yeah, I think generalising, you've got to look at everybody as unique to some
individuals.
level. But when you start to look at the statistical averages, that there is, like, it'd be nice to have the statistical. You can't just say Western foreigners. You can sort of say 65% of Western foreigners, right, do this, as opposed to only 45% of Asian foreigners. That would be a more appropriate way to deal with it on a critique level,
well, it's a little bit more specific, but then even then, though, you keep breaking it down. Well, who do you mean by Western foreigners? Who do you mean by Asian foreigners? You can break it down if you really want to be, not without being pedantic, but it's just generalisations. But
it's the generalisation. But still, it's a good thing. The whole article, if we scroll back, the 10 reasons why foreigners, why they're taking the numbers, right? And I think that comes up a bit further down the thing. Westerners have, in general, more of a sense of entitlement. I think that was already mentioned here. Entitlement. Yes, everyone wants to feel important, but Westerners, including myself, want to feel the most important. Whereas I don't seem to have a problem with it, because if I still, even 3.5 years into living here, I get annoyed with some of the little bullshit rules of immigration, you know. But
I don't think I ever complained in 5 years when I was there. I'd never complained. Even if I got a bad meal, I'd just say, oh, well, fuck all, I'll just leave.
I seriously don't complain on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. I do join in the complaints tirade when we get the meetups, right, when we're with other foreigners. And again, you know, I'm not gonna diss the group I'm with. You know, I take a defensive stance because I feel the same way. They want to talk about immigration. They want to talk about this. They want to talk about that. You know, they just want to have a general, you know, poor little old me party. You know, but you just join in. But quite frankly, it's the only time I do complain about it is when I'm with other foreigners, because other than that, it doesn't really bother me. I don't have a problem living here. But yes, but it is. I think everyone's. We do. We want to feel important. I just treat the fact that I'm a guest here, and I will always be a guest. I would like to get naturalisation at some stage. I don't know how that process goes and how hard it is. Right. I know there's some weird numbers, like they only take 100 foreign nationals per country every year.
Hard,
and you've got to be able. I've got to speak as good a Thai as Sarah and read and write it. You know, can she do the Vulcan mind meld? Hey Sarah, can you come and give me a Vulcan mind meld? Just shove it all in my brain here. You know. So. Anyway, so. For some societies with billions of people in a social structure, there are value groups, individual Chinese, it isn't big of an issue, and you get less of the first items.
I think too, if you come from a litigious society, like I will say, you know, the Americans are probably more litigious than Australians. So by complaining, but I don't think that they would be complaining to get any financial reward or anything. I think even that doesn't fly really. They may do in their own country, but I think you know, and we should be able to give constructive criticism without being branded negatively. If we say, excuse me, you know, my bed is pretty filthy. Can somebody change the sheets on it? I mean, but do it in a nice way. Like I pulled a pillow slip off one of my pillows, and it was just disgustingly filled with mold and everything. I thought, oh fuck. So you know. I just said, could you replace the pillows? And I didn't even go downstairs. The cleaners did it for me. But if you do it nicely, I mean, it's nobody's fault because it is a rather poor country. Who to blame? Don't know. There's no good blaming the receptionist who ends fuck all, you know. Well, that's it. You know, it's just the receptionist.
I think that was Robert Maxwell wrote a book called The 21 Laws of Leadership. And one of the laws he talks about, you know, is specifically this thing. It's never the person that you're talking to. It's not their problem. Why do we lose? Why do we lose our patience with the girl at the sales counter? Because it's not her fault, you know. And again, why do we lose our patience with the people at immigration when it's not their fault? It's a set of laws that have been made, and they are just doing their best. And he sort of says in his 21 Laws of Leadership, if you actually sort of make your first attempt to try to be on their side, and you change it, your phrases and terminology to sort of, I know how you feel. Look, you know. Is there something we can do about it? You know, get them on your side? What can we do here is there something we can do? Get the whole idea, make them feel included in your grief, but without making them feel as if, you know, you get the idea. There's some magic in the way you can.
I was in Vietnam and breakfast, right? And they said, well, you know, do you want an egg? You know, we can cook me an egg. And I said, yeah, okay, that sounds nice, an egg on toast. And the lady pulled out an egg from the previous day that was still in the fridge, you know. So if I hadn't said anything, didn't complain, I just said, oh, sorry, changed my mind. No, it's okay, I don't want it, sort of thing. Just caught her in time before she cooked it, you know. Because I can get really sick from that. Yeah. You know.
I wanted to do a shout out to Robert Mack. He was just saying hello to you. You probably missed that one.
No, I didn't. I said hi, Robert. I wrote it in.
Oh, there you go. I'm just scrolling down, trying to keep track of it.
I think it's more to do with the person not doing their job if they are mad just because the customer doesn't feel the cutlery is clean enough.
But yeah,
and Tommy Crush.
If that's something to worry about, why don't you take some serviettes with you? And if you're worried about the country not being clean it yourself. If it doesn't look clean enough. Really. I know quite often I've gone to some of these street cafes, and it looks like it's been washed in water, but you can sort of see the water mark on the cutlery. And so I just pull my shirt out and I wipe it with my shirt, and then I'm bug it again.
I have found the Thais generally to be pretty clean. I can't say that of Vietnam. And again, you're racist. No, I'm not being racist. I'm just saying on what I've seen.
Yeah.
I think the Thais, they're pretty fastidious when they come to cooking, and everything like that. And I think this is a big problem in China while this bloody coronavirus has started, I think cleanliness is important, but when to complain and who to complain to is you've just got to be a little bit sensitive to circumstances. If you're in a third world country sitting in a restaurant with a dirt floor and people are just trying to cobble together enough things to make a restaurant to serve you, then you've got to be a little bit appreciative as well.
Yeah.
Otherwise, walk another 10 miles and find a 7-Eleven. I don't know, but but cleanliness is important. I can see why people complain, but you've got to pick your fights, or pick your timing, or pick your place to say it. I mean, there's a lot of things that can be left to desire in China and Vietnam, for example. From what I've seen, from what I've heard, geez, what would you? I mean, it's beyond words sometimes. It really is.
Yeah, so I stuck in Florida, was picking on Sarah about her cooking, and Sarah's agreeing with her, with him. Sarah's all looks. She just can't cook. Okay. All the pretty ones are like that. Look at Chanya. She can cook fried chicken. I think that's about as far as we go with the cooking.
It's kind of funny when I see a Thai can't cook, because most Thais are bloody good cooks. A lot of wherever you go, they can whack up a dish in next to no time.
Yeah.
So when I see one that says they can't cook, it surprises me. But I've seen a couple.
I used to. I've cooked for myself for 8 years when I was living in Australia after the divorce, and I became quite a good cook. But I don't cook over here. To me, it's almost seems pointless. Anyway, we're going off the subject here. So
we've gone off track. Yeah, we've gone off track.
Yeah.
Where are we up to? Number 3?
Number 4. Westerners often want to do something their way.
That is everybody.
And not go with the flow. I like to go with the flow. Leave path of least resistance. That's my way. As I said, under the chaos genre, the Queen of Chaos, Eris Callisti Discordia, the most active divinity on the planet at the moment. She's a Greek goddess of chaos, discord, and confusion. When you look at it, the whole society, the Western, every society in the world, what are the 3 most active discontents that are causing all the grief at the moment? Chaos, discord, and confusion. She is the most active divinity on the planet right now. That's why I love chaos magic and love Discordia and love Eris, the goddess of chaos. I'm just going with the flow, mate. That's it. My life is easy. Anyway, enough of the religious rant for the day. Whereas I am very guilty of this. We used to think, we are used to things how we like it, and we talked about this before. You come from your Western country and you just like it the same. If you want to come to Thailand, then don't bring Melbourne with you. Don't bring Sydney with you. You come to Thailand because you like Thailand. If Thailand wouldn't be Thailand if it was Sydney or Melbourne or Brisbane or Washington State or get the idea, yeah. Folks, for beeps going.
Although I don't think that's such a factor in Western countries where, it's less homogenous. You go to Thailand and they have very distinctive cultural norms. Then you can sort of be seen to be not going with the flow at any turn. It's sometimes difficult to know what you should do and what you shouldn't do, apart from the obvious ones that you see all the time. People can be hyper offence taking, and as they can in the West as well. go with the flow, but don't be mealy-mouthed and bow your head so low that you can't raise it. You know, I mean, you've got to. If things are not right or you need help, speak up. If they don't like it, too bad.
Okay, where we go. So for folks of some societies and cultures are often used to things not going their way, the government running, blah, blah, blah. Therefore, they tend to go with the flow is and not complain. Again, I'm sure we're going to get a big blow up next week about the whole political party issue, and there's going to be a lot of negative articles coming out about that.
You do get people blown up, but I don't think it's as prolific as this article makes it to be. I mean, but,
you won't get the memes. You won't get the memes that follow. Like people hate ScoMo, for instance. He's just a bit of an asshole. But the memes that are coming out are quite defamatory. And are they real? But as I said, that's what memes are. You'll find discontent on the news over here, but because of the media laws, you won't find so much of the narcissistic meme culture being developed out of it. Over here, which is, I think, thankful and a better way to go.
I mean, try going with the flow when you're going through immigration or trying to get your visa extended. Try going with the flow then. It's bloody self-control is what you need. Drive your driver's safety tears. We've got to be pragmatic in these things. We just can't be pure and driven snow all the time. It's exhausting. It's exhausting being nice all the time.
Yeah, as Ralph sort of said, when in land of smiles, do as the Thais do, and if you start to take that attitude, you'll get along a lot better.
Be yourself, and be culturally sensitive, but don't do it.
That's probably you've said it better. Be culturally sensitive. Before you ingrate yourself into another culture, have a little bit of understanding of what the culture is and what the culture does, and I'm on some of these other Facebook groups, and some of the questions that people ask, on these Facebook groups, I'm going, really? You don't know how to use Google? You got to come to Facebook and and ask that question? Really? Some people just they haven't like typical mammalian species. They haven't travelled any further than 20 kilometres from where they were born, right? And then they were preparing to come to a different culture and halfway across the world. And they're asking stupid questions that, like if you actually went to school and listened to teachers, you might not be asking the same questions, But yeah, that's
nasty, Warren. That's just nasty.
That's just unfortunate. You just got to read some of the stuff that I sort of come.
What number are we up to?
Number 5. You can read.
We often don't spend as much as people think. There is a myth. And it is a myth that no Russians, Chinese, Indians, etc. spend money on vacation. Yes, I think that is, but they do it a different way. They're more about they spend less in one instance, but overall they probably spend just as much. There are plenty of frugal and cheap charters in every country. Fair enough, that's true, I agree. And there are also big spenders here, yeah. Some of the cheapest cost-cutting people I've met in Thailand were my fellow Westerners. Some of the largest spenders I've met were from the above demographics. It is mostly true, however, that most of the Chinese, Russians and Indians don't spend their money at bars and go-go's. Well, that part I disagree with, and every time somebody says mostly or always, then it's a red light to me. How can you say anything is mostly true of an entire race? There is a lot more to Pattaya than the bar scene. But the Chinese and Russians, as we said, Warren, they do it covertly. They don't do it overtly, and they frequent the red light district just as much as we do. Whether they turn up to actually physically get the pizza or they do it by phone is here or there, but they do frequent the red light district just like everybody else. In fact,
well, I think it's got to come down to numbers as well. So 5% of the tourists coming to Thailand are the Western culture we're talking about. That's the numbers. Whereas 45% of the tourists are from the Asian sector, Malaysia, all around here, right? What we don't see in the go-go bars is we don't sort of see 40, that ratio we see, pretty much an equal amount of Asians, right, tourist Asians, as we do Westerners, right? We see the numbers.
PopeKael had 4 streets, but one of the streets was entirely devoted to Japanese, so that hits that whole thing on the head anyway.
It's only 2 streets now.
Yeah. They just do it. They just do it more covertly, and therefore
it's a matter of numbers. What I'm getting is a matter of numbers. Like I don't see if we were to say if we were to say there's 50 farang in Soy Cowboy on Wednesday night, I don't see 450 Asians as
because
the same,
they do it covertly.
at the same rate. You missed the point. It's not a covert place. It's a walking street, right? There's not.
Yes, but
there's not that many more. What I'm getting at is the fact that Chinese, Russians, and Indians, they will still frequent it, but not as many per head of population visiting Thailand, right? Otherwise, you would see it on the streets. And yes, they have this little back alleys and other things.
That's my whole point. You don't have to see it for it to be happening. I mean, if you go to Japan, there's a whole red light district there, and it's very covert. It's very it's very understated, right? It goes on in every country, and prostitution and red light and all that shit is rampant in Asia. Absolutely rampant. The Thais were doing it far before we came there anyway. The Thais were indulging in prostitution well before we ever got there. So just because you don't see it, doesn't mean it's not happening. But if you're just saying, like, when I go down to walking street, it's mainly foreigners. Well, actually, if you go down there today, it's mainly Chinese and bloody Indians. But they may not go into the bar, but they will do it another way. They will organise it another way.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just.
My mate Willie Wees from Second Life has just started following the channel there. How's that? Weird. Haven't spoken to him for ages. Anyway, so moving along, number 6.
Number 6. There is something more than us. Thailand is focused on a McDonald's-style business called capital turns, in which they are focused on the amount of customers and how many times they turn over $1 versus higher single spenders. Many people don't understand the amount of Chinese and Indians that are growing into middle class and travelling for the first time, with less complaints, demands, entitlement and drama focusing on numbers which add up over time. If only 1% of these countries spends, these countries' nationals spend good money, that's larger than many other Western countries. Again, I don't think that's true.
Well, I think that's what I was trying to get at in that previous one, is that in the numbers, we're going to look at the numbers, and what you're physically seeing. There is a covert side, I have to disagree with Tommy as well as Sarah disagreeing with Tommy. Right, prostitution it is global. It's no different.
Of course.
But in our Western society, we have a more of a acceptance and an openness to the whole idea. Whereas, at the moment we have laws. We have laws here in Thailand, right, which make it illegal, right, and it is an illegal practice, right. So it should be kept under the table. It should, get it out of the public eye.
It's not out of the public eye entirely.
Well, unfortunately, there's 3 or 4 places, but you don't see it around here. Pa's told me of a few places around our area that are known to practice that sort of stuff.
Of course.
They told me about 6 or 7 years ago but you don't sort of see throngs of Thais hanging out the front of those sort of places,
Yeah.
You get the idea. It's under the table. It's discreet.
Every country has it. Every country has it.
It should be discreet, Just that we just have Nana and Soy Cowboy and Pat Pong, which are just not all that discreet,
It's hard to be discreet when they're open air bars and women jumping over the top of you. It's hard to be discreet.
Yeah, I know that. But that's one of the charming things about Thailand. I think it's just,
I don't mind it, but it's just I think
it gets a bit much sometimes actually.
Yeah.
Like we went out Tuesday night after we finished 9 o'clock at Susie's. We went for our little wander, and by 10:30, everybody else we just pretty much had enough, you know.
Yeah.
Really, it's just like it's just window shopping, you know, whatever. I'm just a wingman. I'm not getting involved with this sort of stuff. I'm just making sure you're going to be okay.
I stopped believing this guy when he's got lots of sentence fragments here. They're not complete sentences.
Stop picking on his English skills, okay?
No, well, shit. You know, you're supposed to have a verb in a sentence somewhere.
Yeah. Number 7. They still like package tours. This is true. This is some of the things, you know, like it's all to do with the numbers game. It's you know, do you cater for a Westerner and bringing his wife and 2 children, or do you cater for a bus for 50 freaking Chinese coming through on a special tour where you've had nothing to do? It's all organised out of the country. They come in here, right? They bring them by the busload. Okay, they might have their special pick-outs, those special places where they're buying it, but it's still employing Thais. I think that's what Chinese and Indians and some Russians have not. This makes it easy for them bringing high-profit tourist attractions to another. They are brought to markets and malls where the items are significantly higher than the local market prices. But since they don't know anything better, they spend there. And many of these businesses are sometimes called scams by long-standing Westerners. Here they just aren't really scams, but they're just higher price businesses. The Chinese especially tend to spend a lot at these places, especially gold and trinket shops at temples they visit.
When he says most of us grew out of package and group tours, I think it's shocking, but anyway, they grew out of package and group tours decades ago. Well, that's not true either. I mean, a lot of the people started as backpackers, especially, it depends which demographic you're talking about. A lot of young people were actually backpacked through Thailand, and then people make the generalisation, backpackers are shit because they don't spend money. Well, bullshit, because research shows that en masse they spend more money compared to individual tourists overall. If you have the same number of individual tourists. So they stay longer and they spend more money. I mean, there's just so many errors in the thinking. This guy's English is terrible. Oh my God.
Anyway, number 8.
Sorry,
that's right. You can do number 8 if you want. That's right.
If they don't spend money on pre-book tours, the little money they did spend goes back to the Thai economy at various levels. It's a myth that the money goes back into the local economy. I disagree with that. It's oblivious. It's obvious. Sorry, a lot of folks commenting and reading on forums and social. It's all obvious. If it's obvious, don't say it. And reading on forums and social media groups know little to nothing about macro and economics. Far away yourself, mate. Regardless if the company is Chinese owned and if the tour was booked and paid for in China or India at a heavy discount, the local attractions are all stars with thousands of nationals. God, the sentence will insert. It's a run-on sentence. Many who are struggling right now with the Chinese group tour ban due to the coronavirus. These Thais spend on the attractions. What do they do? These Thais depend on the attractions for their salary and livelihoods. The alcohol, licenses, gas for buses, sheets and furniture for the hotels, the handymen, the seafood, the electric and the water, etc., are all Thai and go right back into Thailand. Even if the cheapest tourist comes from a package tour that includes, say, the Sanctuary of Truth and spends nothing, his initial ticket helps support the Thai workers, builders, food vendors, gas for bus, etc. Contrary to belief, spending money at a bar is not the sole way to judge a tourist who spends good money. It is true, however, that in many cases this does not help the mum and pop-style Thai businesses. And you can deal with that. I don't even know what he's talking about. You can deal with that, Warren?
It's true, however, that in many cases that this does not help the mum and pop style businesses. Yeah, it rather helps the giant tourist attractions that are already raking in the dough. Again, so what they're talking about is the fact that like these bars, like the night. If we pick on the Nightwish group, how many they own 8 bars, right? So that's the profits from those 8 bars are being raked in by the managing directors of Nightwish Group. Again, I would think they do live here in Thailand, and probably then that money does go back into the economy. But again, that's the other side. Like in Chinatown, half the businesses in Chinatown are owned by Thai Chinese nationals, right? Who are then sort of sending that, on that bigger level. It's not so much the street food prices that help the local Thais, but the big profits are going back out of the country in the form of salaries to these high, well, we say high, probably not really that high, but higher paid salary earners that don't actually live here, and that's why they do it, because they can. Again, it's a bit of a generalisation, but the takeaway is the fact that the more numbers does help more local Thais, right? But only helps that the local Thais that are focused on the tourism industry, which is only sort of 12% of their GDP. And what we're struggling with now is companies like 1,500 or 2,000 Thais going to be out of work. They might be hired by the Chinese, but invariably I'm pretty sure that won't be the case. When with the takeover of the new car manufacturing out of Rayong, that's going to hurt Thailand. As I said, if these businesses keep on moving out of Thailand, then you're never going to get them back. That's where Thailand's making really bad decisions, but this is not really the focus of the thing. This is we're focusing on the Western tourist sort of angle. And then there's some truth in some of the stuff that he's sort of saying here, but you got to look at it with a little bit of a sort of tongue-in-cheek. He's just he's writing a blog article.
I think it's too late. I've already failed his essay, so it doesn't.
That's right.
Number 9. It's simply closer and more affordable.
We've got advertising on there, so there's a few ads here, and that's the plug by the Nightwish Group. So it's doing the right thing. People are reading the article and they're getting the clicks through on the pages and everything else. So that's all working.
He might have been at the bar when he wrote this article.
Could be.
It is simply closer and more affordable for them. It is simply closer and more affordable for them. Great way to start a new paragraph. For me as an American, to come here from the East Coast, it's clearly 35 hours door to door and a very expensive ticket. A flight from India can be a few hours and found for very cheap for a few nights. Bringing large amounts of tourists from these countries is simply easier due to the distance. Malaysian tourists have been increasing steadily in Thailand recently due to the successful tourism promotions and offers, and is also very close. There you go. What do you think of that? I can't comment because I can't understand English.
I'm just reading it again, just trying to get grasp or trying to grok what he's saying.
What the fuck is that?
I think he's talking about the fact that Westerners, it's a longer trip to get here than the Asians. So let's focus on the people that it's actually more affordable to get here, right? Because again, the numbers and it's cheaper and everything else. They don't have as high disposable income, but as I said, 10 Indians, probably make more than one foreigner on a numbers game, and so they're going to spend equally the same amount of money when they get here, because they haven't had to spend so much on getting here.
It's fair to say at a lot of the bars you don't see a lot of Indians and Chinese drinking at the bars. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. Well, you can you can see the lack of people at the bars now. You see, as a foreigner, I still have difficulty telling the difference between a sort of Chinese and a Thai. I'm getting better at it.
No, I mean, Warren, like when you go to a normal bar, there tends to be Caucasians drinking there. Like you don't see a lot of Asians drinking at the bars. And it's a covert way.
It depends on where you are. The bars around here, it's all Thais drinking at the bars. But I live in Thailand. There's just no foreigners here to actually go there, But it is Thais, like the Bahrain. It's a nightclub down the road, just down the road from us, 3 kilometres in the road.
Like when I see
it's always busy on a night, After 6 o'clock at night, the Thais just go there. It's a night spot entertainment venue. right? I don't see any foreigners there. It's all Thais. Thai,
No,
but again, they're not.
I'm talking about in the tourist areas, not like
well,
in the tourist areas.
Again, this is where this is where the whole article does get skewed. Is the fact that he's specifically looking at the tourist areas like Pattaya. He's from Pattaya. Right. He's looking at it from a very narrow perspective, right? People who come here to Thailand don't go to Pattaya, right? A lot of foreigners, percentage-wise, do end up at Pattaya because that's what appeals to them, right? But like there's plenty of other people doing other venues and temples and like we were out at that temple on Wednesday. Took some photos there. And there's plenty of tourists there. There was 2 busloads, right, at a temple. I don't see 2 busloads rocking up at Soy Cowboy. You get the idea? That there's there's a different little level of scale, all right? And they are buying trinkets and putting tied in the tree. This is the sort of thing that we often get the whole thing is skewed up. And why they come into it? Because the fact that Thailand has some very nice temples. It's not the sort of things that I find very good for videography, but the Wat Tamai there, it's a very nice temple. Check out the photos I took, with Chanya out there, some nice photos there. It's on my Flickr, by the way. Anyway, number 10, last one. Most are not here for the red lights. This is what basically what we're getting at. I saved the best for last. That is true. This fact angers many of the long-standing visitors and the fans of the red light districts, but it's true. Most Russians and Chinese have zero interest in the. Well, they don't. That's just not true. But on a percentage-wise, I think more Russians and Chinese are coming out to do, markets and go shopping in Chinatown and look for those bargains and things like that. You see them. I see them at the markets, right? This is the thing. They don't come to the red light districts. They aren't coming to Thailand for red light. That's it. On a percentage basis, there is no doubt that is a true statement. On a percentage basis, more of the Chinese and Russians are going to places where they're buying things at a bargain, right? Things that they can't get where they live because import duty rules. They're allowed to. This is what we do when you go. Like we used to go from Australia over to Singapore to buy the best cameras, until of course online shopping sort of made that more sense to actually buy it online. But in the 90s, before online shopping, I know, buying your camera duty, you're tossing up, do I buy a duty free before I go out the country, or do I get it when I get to England because it's going to be cheaper there, And this is the economy. But anyway, some Indians have interest, but middle class and business visitors are becoming more common. Well, I don't know where you get the numbers from there, but it's a good way it's a good slant to take on it. This pleases the powers that be due to showing the tourist attractions, architecture, religious temples, culture, and other items. Sure, they might walk through the district, but spending money in bars is a completely different matter. Some Western foreigners would prefer to come and sit in a bar for 2 weeks, shit-faced, and never go anywhere. I thought, he says, I fall in that category. I don't. My little bar thing happens twice a month, I don't have any real need to go to the bars apart from to meet some foreigners that are here and that have followed the channel and stuff,
Well, at least this time you said some, instead of most or all.
But anyway, as I said, it was an interesting article. I thought it was it's good talking point. And I see, we've got Tommy Crush and Sarah having a little bit of a tete-a-tete on the chat there. Just lighten up, guys. It's just a fun channel. Let's just not get too. I know Tommy's got a perspective, and so Sarah's obviously Thai. So keep it above. Punch above the belt. I've been keeping an eye that it hasn't got too. But I'm not calling too much attention to it as well because
I think it's been fair enough. I mean that's all right. It's healthy to have a debate.
It's a debate, and it's a good way to look at it. We do tend to sort of take things to heart a little bit too much. I think the takeaway we're going to look at is the fact that if you're going to come to Thailand, learn a bit of the culture before you get here. You know, I've got 430 videos on my channel alone, right? You know, there is a plenty of videos if you want to sit down and spend a few hours, right, going through it. I know it's not easy to find the good stuff. That's why I have a website. You know, I have my points of view. You know, you can put search into my website and it comes up a bit easier.
I think too, we overthink things a little bit as foreigners when we go there. Like, never do I see such an analysis all the time of everything and everyone in Thailand. You know, like, it's just too much. And I can understand the Thais just going, what the hell are you doing? Like, we're not a laboratory here where you just bloody have to test everything about us. I mean, it seems everything is just overanalyzed and overthought. I mean, just let it be. That in that instance, I say go with the flow. I mean, we can be too culturally, you know, like we understand the culture and be culturally competent. I just be yourself, and you know, you learn a few things along the way. Just have some manners, you know, but don't be too obsessed with it. Ties of this, wear this, and no, it just gets really monotonous after a while. You know?
Yeah. You
know, I think it just we overkill things, maybe because we're bored or because we're sitting over there, we're not working, or maybe because we're in tourist mode. I don't know what the reason is, but just sitting there analysing every single thing, you know, like you're watching the waitress come from the bloody servery right up to your table and watching every step she takes almost. That's how I think some of them must feel. It is what it is. Just go with it. Nothing has to be analysed so bloody much, you know. So,
yeah. Yeah, so let's just make sure the conversation stay. We talk about issues. We're not taking bits and pieces out of people. You know, this is not personal attack material. If there's an issue to discuss, you know, that's the whole idea. And discourse and debate. We talk about issues. We don't focus on the actual people and things like that.
I like what Sarah said there. Yeah. I just realised it's like talking to the wall. Wall is talking.
Yeah, but anyway, some of these comments are starting to get a little bit personal. So I think, you know, just keep it on topic.
We're a nice channel here. Keep it
not attack the people, right? Attack the idea, not the people. Right? You know, that's the way it should.
Play the ball, not the man.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Anyway, we are 5 minutes to the hour, so we got our 2 hours up and running again, as we said to focus off. I did hear my darling.
I made it on here again.
I did hear my darling actually get out of bed and wander off. You didn't see that, of course. The camera angle is nicely narrowed down, so you don't actually see the bedroom. Yeah. But yeah, so like Tommy's just got a little bit more people focused rather than the actual issue there, which I have to agree. But let's just leave it. Let's just why everybody somebody buy. Let's just sabay. Let's not get too carried away with it. You know, what's been said has been said. Little apologies everywhere here will be greatly accepted. Kiss and make up, as they say. I know that Tommy watches Sarah's channel as well, so I just don't know whether it's that time of night.
Jesus. I'm not reading these comments.
Yeah, that's right. We might have to put them on a timeout, but we're going to check. We're going to close them. Just whether we should time them out, but I try not to do that. They're not swearing. That's the main thing. But it's all entertainment. We're all being entertained here. Anyway, what else are we going to do? I think we're pretty much said. So keep an eye out for the live streams.
That'll be a few sentence fragments. That was about the only thing I had complained about.
Yeah.
Run on sentences.
Apart from the sentence structure and their bad English, yeah.
Oh God!
Got to get your website up and running there, Stephen, so you can start teaching people proper English.
Somebody might find a spelling mistake. I just couldn't handle it.
But I think all in all, it's been an interesting and entertaining live stream today. I don't know we got any numbers on it. I think I closed YouTube down, didn't I? So I'm not even watching YouTube at the moment.
Sarah's funny, but I don't mean to be. I'm not laughing at you, Sarah, but it's funny when you get angry. Oh God. Oh my God. Should be laughing, but it is funny. All right then. Are you going to finish now, Warren?
Oh, I'm just looking at what's going on. So there's something there. Don't know what that was. Some video. I need to delete that one.
I haven't read them all.
There we go. There's the actual video running at the moment. So it's muted. Just wanted to see what sort of trouble is. Like the statistics, you lose the statistics now, which is a bit of a pain in the ass.
Is that for?
Oh, it's just the way that the new tools on YouTube are starting to get really annoying. Harder to find out the stuff. Look, there was nothing broken on YouTube before. That was a problem, but they wanted to make it all flashy because, the competition, they're more flashy these days with their, video hosting services. So they basically...
you too, Robert. Have a great day, mate.
Yeah, so they just make it harder for you. So analytics, that's what I wanted to go. I had 5 clicks just to get to my analytics. Oh my God, really? Real-time activity, 191. So even those numbers don't make any sense like the old analytics we used to get while the stream was running. It's a pain in the ass. You used to be able to see your whole graph over the time of how many people were watching and when they were watching and what your peak was. You don't get that anymore. That takes 3 hours for that to come through. Such is life. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here. Hopefully we'll have all you back next week. Don't forget, we've got the gimbal. We might do a Monday.
Thanks, everybody.
Monday lunch sort of wander around like on Siam, giving you a bit of reality TV, uncut, unedited. And
we've got 31 watching, 31 thumbs up, and it's been a pretty good show. Bit of healthy debate, doesn't hurt.
Well, I said that was the whole idea. It was to have a bit of a spin on sort of something that I think it was going to be a little bit contentious in some of the stuff that we just discussed today. It was fighting material, which people get a little bit defensive of that. I think we just all need to take a chill pill and just relax a bit.
Chill pill and relax a bit, but it's still good to see though. I mean, I like a bit of healthy debate every now and then. It doesn't hurt. But as long as it doesn't get personal,
Yeah.
I think
just keep when it starts to attack people or a culture. I think we could then sort of start to raise the racist flag if it's a culture or if it's personal. Let's just keep it.
As long as there's no profanity and personal comments or then debate away. It's fine. I didn't delete anyone today. I just let it go.
Yeah, I've been watching it. I thought it was, there was no swearing, there was no real, the sort of typical stuff you see on some of these other channels, which is healthy. But again,
and sometimes things get lost in translation. When you're commenting, you say something, it gets lost in translation.
Yeah, we're not all English scholars like Stephen.
No, I'm not either. I've actually, as I said, the more I read, the more I find out how much I don't know.
I think we all suffer from that one. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to cue the music up. Here's the tune. Here's the
cue the song and get off.
Cue the song. Thanks for joining in, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, and small furry creatures from Alpha Centauri. We will see you here this time next week.
I don't know what that meant. No idea what that meant.
And I'll get out of your face. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Stay out of 7-Eleven. PopeKael indoor.
Don't sing.
Are we still live?
Yeah, we're still live. I'm waiting for the tune to finish.